The morning sun stretched gently across the quiet coastline, painting the sea with soft shades of gold. Waves rolled peacefully toward the shore, carrying the calm rhythm of a day that seemed destined to become unforgettable. In a charming village overlooking the sparkling water, people had already begun preparing for a celebration unlike any other. Fresh flowers decorated every pathway, delicate white ribbons danced in the breeze, and the scent of blooming roses filled the air. Everything reflected warmth, elegance, and hope. This was not simply another gathering. It was the beginning of a beautiful story that many people had dreamed about for years. Barış Arduç Elçin Sangu had always inspired audiences with their remarkable on-screen chemistry. Their performances brought unforgettable characters to life, creating moments that remained close to the hearts of viewers around the world. Now, in this fictional tale inspired by admiration and imagination, their paths were leading toward a magical wedding celebration that felt like something from a timeless fairy tale. As the first guests arrived, smiles appeared everywhere. Friends greeted one another with excitement. Families embraced warmly. Laughter echoed through the peaceful garden. The venue itself seemed to belong inside a dream. Tall olive trees surrounded the open courtyard, offering gentle shade beneath the bright summer sky. Elegant floral arches framed every entrance, while long wooden tables were decorated with candles, soft greenery, and carefully arranged blossoms in shades of ivory and pale pink. Nothing felt excessive. Every detail carried a sense of simplicity and grace. Inside a quiet room overlooking the sea, Elçin stood near a large window. She watched the sunlight dance across the waves and smiled softly. It wasn't nervousness she felt. It was gratitude. She remembered every meaningful conversation, every joyful memory, every challenge that had strengthened friendships throughout the years. Today was not about perfection. It was about celebrating happiness. A close friend stepped into the room carrying a bouquet of fresh, white flowers. "They're waiting for you," she said gently. Elçin smiled. Just one more minute. She looked once more toward the endless horizon. Sometimes the most beautiful journeys begin with a single quiet moment. Across the garden, Barış stood beneath an ancient olive tree, speaking with family members who had traveled from different places to be part of the celebration. Everyone noticed the calm confidence in his expression. He greeted each guest personally. No one felt overlooked. Children ran happily across the garden, their laughter blending naturally with the peaceful sounds of the sea. An elderly relative placed a reassuring hand on Barış's shoulder. "It's a wonderful day." Barış nodded with a warm smile. "The best days are the ones we share." Nearby, photographers quietly captured smiling faces, blooming flowers, and joyful conversations. No one hurried. Every moment deserved to be appreciated. As the afternoon sunlight became softer, guests gradually found their seats beneath elegant white canopies. The gentle sea breeze carried the fragrance of lavender through the garden. Conversations slowly became quieter. Everyone sensed that something special was about to begin. A young flower girl carefully walked along the pathway, scattering delicate white petals. Behind her came family members, close friends, and loved ones whose faces reflected genuine happiness. Every smile seemed brighter than before. Then, all eyes turned toward the entrance. Elçin appeared. Her elegant gown flowed gracefully with every step, catching the golden light of the afternoon. The garden became perfectly still. Even the breeze seemed to pause for a moment. She walked with quiet confidence, her smile filled with warmth rather than excitement alone. As she reached the center of the pathway, Barış looked toward her. Neither of them spoke. They simply smiled. Sometimes silence expresses more than words ever can. Their families watched proudly. Friends exchanged emotional smiles. Some guests quietly wiped away joyful tears. It was impossible not to feel touched by the peaceful atmosphere surrounding them. The ceremony began with kind words about friendship, respect, and the importance of building a future filled with compassion. Everyone listened carefully. The message was simple. True happiness grows through patience, understanding, and kindness. Barış and Elçin looked toward one another as those words echoed through the garden. Every chapter of life offers new beginnings. Every shared dream becomes stronger when built together. Above them, white clouds drifted slowly across the bright blue sky. Birds flew peacefully over the coastline. Nature itself seemed to celebrate the occasion. As the ceremony continued, guests reflected on the moments that had brought everyone together. Some remembered unforgettable television scenes. Others remembered interviews filled with laughter. Many simply appreciated the joy these talented performers had brought into countless homes through their work. Today, however, the focus wasn't on fame. It was on gratitude, on hope, on togetherness. As the final rays of afternoon sunlight painted the sea with shimmering colors, the celebration prepared to enter its most memorable chapter. No one knew exactly what surprises the evening would bring, but everyone felt the same quiet certainty. This would become a day remembered for many years. And as the first stars slowly appeared above the peaceful coastline, a brand new chapter was only just beginning. The golden light of the afternoon slowly gave way to a sky painted with gentle shades of pink and lavender. A peaceful breeze drifted through the garden, carrying the fresh fragrance of blooming flowers across the celebration. Every guest remained seated with bright smiles, eager to witness the next chapter of a day that already felt unforgettable. Barış and Elçin stood together beneath the elegant floral arch, surrounded by the warmth of family and friends. The atmosphere was calm, joyful, and filled with quiet excitement. The ceremony continued with heartfelt words about trust, respect, and the beauty of sharing life's journey together. Every sentence reminded the guests that the strongest relationships are built on kindness, understanding, and shared dreams. As the final words were spoken, everyone rose to their feet with smiles that reflected genuine happiness. Warm applause filled the garden. Barış and Elçin looked around at the people who had gathered to celebrate with them. Every familiar face represented years of memories, encouragement, and friendship. An elderly family member stepped forward first. "We are grateful to witness such a beautiful day," he said with a gentle smile. "May every tomorrow bring even more happiness than today." His words were met with another wave of applause. Soon, guests began offering their own warm wishes. Some spoke briefly. Others shared cheerful memories that brought soft laughter throughout the garden. One childhood friend recalled how Barış had always believed that every important achievement began with patience. He never rushed toward success, the friend said. He believed that every meaningful dream deserved time.
Barış similet modestri.
Another close friend spoke about Elçin's thoughtful nature. She always found a way to encourage everyone around her. Her kindness became one of her greatest strengths. Elçin thanked her with a warm embrace. The evening continued with conversations that felt natural and sincere. Guests moved through the beautifully decorated garden, admiring every thoughtful detail. Small lanterns lined the pathways, glowing softly as daylight slowly faded. Fresh flowers decorated every table. Elegant candles reflected gently against crystal glassware. The peaceful setting created an atmosphere where every moment seemed worth remembering. Children continued playing nearby, filling the air with cheerful laughter. Their joyful energy reminded everyone that happiness often comes from life's simplest moments. Several guests walked toward the shoreline, enjoying the quiet beauty of the evening before returning to join the celebration. Meanwhile, Barış and Elçin greeted every guest personally. They thanked relatives who had traveled long distances. They exchanged warm conversations with longtime friends. No interaction felt rushed. Every guest felt welcomed. Every smile was genuine. One guest remarked softly, "This celebration feels peaceful. It feels like everyone belongs here." Another guest nodded. "That's what makes today so special." As twilight settled over the coastline, elegant lights illuminated the entire venue. The garden transformed into a breathtaking scene. Tiny lights sparkled among the olive trees like countless stars. The floral arrangements appeared even more beautiful beneath the soft evening glow. Many guests paused simply to admire the view. Photographs captured these unforgettable